Welcome back, everybody, to Tennessee Tuesdays.
Episode 12.
12, if you're keeping track in Spanish. No tequila again this time. Still on 75 hard. It's grueling, but we're getting through it.
How many days do you have left?
I don't know. Take it day by day.
All right, then.
I don't keep track of all that stuff. I don't care. I just know I have
How
to
many
go.
days is your phase?
This phase is only 30. So it's 30 days of regular 75 hard. If you want more info, follow me on Instagram. If you're already there, you probably already know about it, but that'll give you more info. If you want more info on 75 hard, just go to Andy Frizella's page, or I think 75hard.com, and you can find out more info. But it's good. I like being on it. It's making me more productive and do stuff. So. Wow, she's excited this week. Look at her.
I've done it twice.
Okay.
I'm not excited for it.
So this, we talked about it last week. We said there's some new laws coming into place. So I figured we'll review all these, considering that July 1st, these all go into place, which is coming up in a few days now. So I'm just going to run through all of these first, and then we will go back. And I've got 3 of them that I think would be the most interest to you and me, that would apply to us maybe.
Alrighty.
Rather than talk about all these, because there's a lot. Okay, so these are House bills and Senate bills. Again, if you want more info, you can go on the internet, type in that bill, find out what you want. First one, HB 1895 allows the state to withhold money from schools if they don't use a student's sex at the time of birth for sports participation. It's a good one in our opinion. That's a great one because we have girl athletes, and seeing them struggle coming up and all they commit to only have it taken away. Yeah, that sucks. SB 2153, so on the Senate side, bans transgender females from participating in higher education female sports. HB 0210, local school systems now have to post curriculum and curriculum changes at the beginning of each semester, meaning you can't sneak new stuff in there.
So, I like that one.
It's a pretty good one, I think. HB 0978 effectively criminalizes homelessness by expanding existing laws to make it a felony to camp on any public property, as well as making it a misdemeanor to camp along a controlled access highway. We mentioned that on the last one. We'll come back to this. HB 1018 requires the Tennessee Department of Safety to do a criminal background check every 4 years after someone gets a carry and conceal permit, charging $50 to renew the permit and denying concealed carry permit renewals to anyone found prohibited from purchasing or possessing a gun.
I like that one.
I mean, gun talk is...
That one should be a law anyways, I feel like.
I mean, I'm a carry and conceal permit holder, and I don't have a problem doing that every 4 years. Like, that's fine with me. Like, I think it's great. I think there should be some education behind it too, but that's just my own personal opinion. So, HB 1916, state agencies cannot require a bachelor's degree as a condition to hire someone unless the required skills for the position can only be reasonably obtained in pursuit of the degree. That's a good one. I mean, college degrees are trash anymore, really. They don't hold what they used to hold. HB 1964, school districts must practice for remote learning situations, and teacher training programs should include virtual learning tips. So I guess that just goes back to Rona, just being prepared if
another
zebra fluenza comes around. HB 2228 requires healthcare prescribers that offer prescriptions for opioids to also offer prescriptions for an opioid antagonist or reversal drug, such as... That blurred out. I can't read that. Anyways, so if you prescribe an opioid, they're saying you got to, prescribe one that will get you off of it too. That's not going to get you addicted to it.
I think that's valid.
It's good. It's a good one. HB 2270 enacts Nicholas's Law, which treats the second offense of boating under the influence the same as a second offense of driving under the influence, meaning the person is prohibited from operating a vehicle until they are able to seek reinstatement of their driving privileges. I'm good with that one.
That one's a very excellent one.
It blows my mind to this day that you have to get a license to operate a vehicle, but you don't have to have a license to operate a boat.
some people need a license to operate a boat.
It's scary. Again, just personal opinions. HB 2657, as enacted, enacts the Transparency in Sentencing for Victims Act, which requires courts to place on record the estimated number of years and months a defendant will serve in prison before becoming eligible for release. I mean, that makes sense. The court's just supposed to tell you, hey, this is how long you're going to be here.
I think it's a valid one.
It's fine. HB 2783, through July 1st, 2025, if you retire from a school, you can come back as a teacher, substitute, bus driver, etc., without the loss or suspension of retirement benefits, so long as certain conditions are met.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I think that's great.
Right? Come back for a couple of years, and you can come back, and we know they need help.
I mean, I also think teachers retire and then realize
they still miss it.
They miss it, or they want to be around kids again.
Yeah.
Or they just weren't ready to retire.
SB 0136 establishes the Crown Act. I've heard lots of opinions and chatter on this one from friends of all races and colors, and I don't know. Seems kind of the overall consensus is it seems kind of silly. Do you know what this one is? Have you heard this one?
No, I have not.
So you cannot an employer cannot discriminate you based on your hairstyle.
Okay.
So if you have dreadlocks or, just some different
kinda...
hairstyles and stuff, right? And the argument against it I've heard is like there's other things that we could be talking about other than hair, but I guess it does apply in situations and people have been discriminated by it, so
I mean, I don't
we have a
know.
law. So
seems weird, but okay.
Yeah. Well, as a Caucasian woman with straight hair, you probably wouldn't have a discrimination issue. And that's just the world we live in. So they're trying to protect some people that might. So it's there. SB 0882 requires DUI offenders to install ignition interlock devices to their vehicles, which require drivers to provide clean breath samples to start their vehicle. We've heard this before. It's a good one. It's fine.
It's great. But I also feel like there's a way around it. Joe Schmo could have their friend breathe into it.
Honey, we are not encouraging any of this kind of stuff.
I'm not encouraging it, but I also do think that these alcoholics are probably smart.
Are they?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Not.
If you're getting behind the wheel and you've been drinking, I don't know. That's very smart. But SB 1667 authorizes the creation of 23 new Tennessee license plate designs, including ones for Save Our Smokies, The Muse, and Isaiah 117 House.
We already have 1 million license plates anyway, so 23 more wouldn't be bad.
SB 1670. Every school district employee that works with kids, not just teachers, must get human trafficking training. I think that one's pretty cool.
That one's
I like that one a lot. SB 2012 expands criminal charges for littering to specifically address people tossing tires on public or private roads.
I like that one.
I like that one because I don't know what it is with tires and people throwing them. You can go to the dump and pay $2 and get rid of as many tires as you want.
There are tires everywhere. I mean, I don't care what state you live in.
$2 per tire, not $2.
They're everywhere.
SB 2042 prevents employers from paying employees less than minimum wage, even if their earning or productive capacity is impaired by age, a physical or mental deficiency, or injury. That's a good one. SB 2107. Wakeboarding and wake surfing in public waters is now regulated, adding various restrictions such as not allowing nighttime activities, setting minimum distances from docks and shores, and requiring participants to wear life vests.
I think that's a very valid one.
SB 2348 allows the State Department of Transportation to spend money collected from barrel taxes on beer and bottle taxes on soft drinks to be used for roadway and waterway litter cleanup. Is that written correctly? Wrote correctly? Collected from barrel tax. Oh, yeah. Okay. So money that is collected from barrel taxes on beer and then bottle taxes on soft drinks can be used for roadway and waterway litter cleanup.
I like that one.
I like it. SB 2512. The max fine for not stopping for a school bus based solely on camera evidence is increased to $200 instead of $50.
There are a lot of people that blow past that school bus. You could possibly hit a child.
I stop at every school bus. The minute I see yellow lights, I start slowing down because, fun fact, my dad, Fred, of Fred's roast, Fred Hoag, he got a school bus fine. And, man, he never let me hear the end of that one.
It's when the red flashing lights are on.
Little sign pops out.
And the little sign pops out.
You never know when the kids got to duck around. You see how kids get out of the car and run around like maniacs anyways, so who knows. That's a good one. SB 2592. Driver's licenses issued to people convicted of human trafficking have a special designation that allows law enforcement officers to identify them. That's kind of cool. Like a little hint, like, hey, this person, you know. So that's a good one. SB 2683. You've been drinking a lot lately. You all right? You famished? Dehydrated? SB 2683. A person convicted of first-degree murder for the killing of another in the perpetration or attempted perpetration of aggravated rape of a child, and aggravated rape of a child must be sentenced to life in prison without parole or death. Rape a child?
I think it's valid. I like
You're
that.
going for life, or you're dying. That's good. I'm good with that. I have 2 daughters. It would end up either way, anyways, if the law didn't get involved. SB 2769 prohibits correction officers from restraining a prisoner or detainee that is known to be pregnant, except under an extraordinary circumstance that requires restraints for the safety and security of the person, staff, or other detainees. Interesting one.
Interesting.
It makes a lot of sense, right? Because, I mean, if you were to do something that would impact the pregnancy or, you know.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. SB 2852, as enacted, requires a utility system upon request or application for a connection of utility service by a customer to promptly provide the customer the connection cost. It's fair. I mean, you want to get, you know, water meter hooked up or installed, like they got to tell you, hey, it's going to cost this much to connect it, or, you know, electric or something. It's fair. It's transparency, right? There's a couple that weren't on the list. They were very long, extended ones, but they were ones that I wasn't sure that would really apply to anybody or anyone would really care about. So the 3 that we're going back to that I know will apply to Babs will have some thoughts on, is SB 2107, wakeboarding and wake surfing. So, between sunset and sunrise.
I think that's valid.
Nothing behind a boat. So what do you think about like wake surfing with like lights on the tower and stuff at night? Like,
I don't think so, because it's going to be hard. Once you turn, say the person falls and you turn to go back, your lights are facing the opposite direction.
Yep.
So you're not going to see where that person is.
I know that's a big one. People like to do like...
And you may run them over. I mean, I hope you don't, but accidents happen.
They do happen.
And I don't think you should wakeboard too close to the shore.
And what was it? We got a ticket in Canyon Lake.
For driving without lights at sunset, I think.
It was boating after almanac, right? Like, and
yes.
Sunset, sunrise is based off of the almanac. It's not based off, hey, look, like the sun's not down yet. There's still light. We can go. No, it's based off of what the almanac says. Also attached to it, on a body of water that is less than 50 acres in size. 50 acres pretty small.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd really want to wakeboard on it.
Probably
most
not.
areas you're going to wakeboard anyways are going to be bigger. On a portion of body of water that is a width measured from nearest shoreline to the second nearest shoreline that is less than 400 feet.
Makes sense. It's pretty small.
You want space to pass. Like, it gets tight in some areas where you're trying to pass people and you got wake doubles up. And,
I mean, not going to be rude, but there are some boat drivers that don't pay attention to people wakeboarding.
There are a lot
skiing,
of boat drivers that don't.
Any form of boating activity.
And I mean, even with the flag thing, like, I am always, when I'm driving, like, and even the passengers, we all wave, acknowledge, like, hey, like, we see your skier in the water. Like, we see your person in the water.
I mean, I think this is a valid
safe,
law,
right?
Just because there are a lot of ding-dongs that don't abide by certain boating rules that, I mean, I feel like are common sense that you shouldn't really have a law for. But
honey,
I guess
sense.
common sense went out the window.
You were pretty polite with that ding-dong label. Within 200 feet of a shoreline, dock, pier, boathouse, or other structure located completely or partially on the water. So again, you mentioned that earlier already. You get idiots that fly by like 50 feet from the dock and you destroy people's docks. You destroy the boat ramps. You destroy, anything that's attached. If the boat's in the water and buoyed up, like that thing slams against the dock, that's fine. That's a valid one, I think.
It's very valid.
Without wearing a personal flotation device approved by the U.S. Coast Guard.
I feel like everyone that is doing a water sport should probably wear a life jacket that is approved by the U.S. Coast Guard.
So where that goes, though, those life jackets that are like super thin.
Yeah.
Because they want to wear the flotation device but not be like bulky and have it,
Okay, but what happens when they fall wakeboarding and knock themselves out? They're going to drown. The boat driver is not going to get turned around fast enough to save the person that got knocked out on the water to rescue him.
I mean, we always wear...
We wear proper life jackets. I don't care if you look like a dum-dum.
I don't know. It's just like riding a motorcycle. I understand the freedom of it and stuff, but if I'm riding a motorcycle, I'm wearing a helmet. Like, simple as that. Except... What did this say now? Oh, and there was one exception to it that said you cannot wake surf in the waters of Tennessee using a motorboat that has a propulsion system that extends beyond the motorboat's boarding or swim platform. Common sense again. So your prop cannot stick out past your swim deck or something, right? If you're wake surfing, you're within 10 feet of the back of the boat, and if you fall... You're going to hit the prop. And someone slams, lets off the throttle, then you're going to go right into it. So I think that...
You're going to get chopped up. You're going to be fish food.
All right.
Sorry.
Moving on. SB 1667. This was the authorization of 23 new license plates. Personalized plates. How many plates does Tennessee have? How many do you think?
Oh, we looked this up. They have like close to like 80 or something.
Right now they have 100.
Oh.
There are 100 personalized license plates. Everything from St. Jude to Smokies to Canines to UT to Alabama to...
I mean, what's 23 more?
Right? So a few that they're adding. Tiger Sanctuary, which there's a big one that Babs and I randomly found one day.
Yeah.
Just on, like, in Loudoun or Lenore City, like on the other side. It's really weird. Save Our Smokies, Historic Maury for Maury County, Explore Tennessee, a railroad museum. If you've had presidential service, if you're a physician, if you were in combat action, and Isaiah House 117. I thought that one was really cool because
that one's a good one.
If you follow the vlogs, local yokel Robin with Tickled Orange Photo Booth. She's very involved in Isaiah House 117. And
she does raise a lot of money for that.
Basically what that is it's the
middle, man.
It's the middle of the road for the foster child. It gives them somewhere safe and comfortable to stay
while they're waiting
in the process while they're getting to be assigned to a family or something, right? Yep. I think it's great. I think it's a fantastic organization, so it's cool that they have a plate now. And the third one, HB 0978, I want to go back to, is the criminalization of a person experiencing houselessness, aka homelessness. What do you think about that one?
Where they could go to jail if they're...
Yeah, so you can pay a fine or community service if you are caught cooking, using a camping stove, sleeping, setting up a tent, a tarp, etc. on public areas.
I mean, it sounds great, but where are these homeless people going to go? We don't have enough shelters to put these homeless people in.
Well, the fine that they have to pay is $50.
I don't know where a homeless person's getting $50 at.
That's
so the likelihood of them getting their money for this fine...
I rest my case on this right here.
Seems like a joke, because they're still going to do it. I don't imagine this homeless person giving two craps how many fines they get, because they're not going to pay the fine at the end of the day.
Which I'm all for, tackling it and figuring it out. And yeah, we shouldn't have them on public.
But we need to come up with
resource-wise if a lot of it comes from, a mental thing or a drug issue, and some people just don't want help, period.
There's a lot that don't want help. It doesn't matter.
So you're going to tag them with $50 fine that they're not going to pay.
Where are you going to mail them this fine at? Are you collecting it when you find them? You owe me $50 right now, or you don't? Are you taking them to jail? What are you doing with them?
Very good point. And then, the one thing that just kills us is when you see a homeless person with a pet, with an animal.
I don't physically understand how homeless people have animals. They can't even feed themselves.
And now you're bringing a poor animal into it. I get the companionship that an animal can give you, but if you cannot responsibly take care of yourself and provide for yourself, you shouldn't be bringing that pet along either, because that's not fair to that animal either. So
definitely not.
Those are just the 3 I thought would stick out to us. Those are some of the new laws that are coming up July 1st in Tennessee. Just thought it'd be fun to cruise over them. Again, if you want more info, you can go Google any one of those ones that I gave a number on. And yeah, I think they're all pretty fair. There was nothing that was like too crazy that stood out. So Tennessee's doing a decent job, I think. And yeah, those all seem good. So that is it from Tennessee Tuesdays. Give us a follow, give us a like, give us a share. Please drop us a review. It's helping us grow this thing and get some more follows and attention to it so we could provide more content and information. If there's anything y'all want to hear,
leave a comment and we'll try to get to it.
Let us know. We're trying to compile a list kind of things that we can do after we get through some of these ones that we've already had ideas for. So,
well, have a wonderful Tuesday evening.
You can follow us on all the social handles at Tennessee Tuesdays. Yeah, that's it from East Tennessee now.